Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. My name's Alex. I'm here with Kev for another episode of the Chelsea Fan TV preview show. We've got Bournemouth on Sunday. Bournemouth away at 2 o'clock. It's going to be a good one, guys. It's going to be a good one. We've had very mixed results against Bournemouth in the past. It was a bogey team for a while against us, but last season it was actually the team where we finally managed to grab 3 points under Frank Lampard. So it was quite a nice away day last season. But yeah, Kev, I mean, obviously we've had the international break, so we've been without club football for a little while. I guess like most people, you're just ready to get back to it.
Yeah. Disappointing. I know we ended the game just before the break. Nottingham Forest thought we could have probably got the 3 points there and went into the international break with some momentum. But typically, like we always see, Chelsea of recent years letting us down. But we move. Bournemouth away is going to be another tricky opponent. A team that haven't done well this off in their last game. I think it was 5-2 against Tottenham in the last outing. So, that they've had a difficult start to the year. So hopefully we can go and do what we did last year, 3-1, hit that game that kept us up last year. Hopefully we can go and do the business because we're going into a very, very tricky October. So we need to find a bit of form now going into that little bad spell, let's say.
100%. I mean, it's an interesting one as well, Kev, because Tyler Adams. Obviously, we were going to sign him from Leeds, and then we pulled out of that deal when he almost basically signed for us so that we could get Caicedo. He's a Bournemouth player, and I was speaking to a mate of mine who's a Bournemouth fan. He hasn't even played for Bournemouth yet, so a lot of people are saying he could make his debut for them against us. I mean, that's going to be a bit of a weird one. He's got a point to prove, especially playing against Caicedo and players like that ended up signing for us instead of him. I mean, do you think he's going to have an impact on this game? I know Bournemouth haven't had the best run of form, but they haven't been bad. They've still managed to get points against some good sides. I mean, are you feeling confident?
Tyler Adams is a good player, and I think we wanted it was £8 million or something.
No, more than that. I think it was about 20 or something like that. About 20 million.
Oh, 20, okay, 20 million, my bad. But even so, 20 million, it's a steal for a player like that. I think he did really well at Leeds last year. His ball retention's really good. He tracks players down. He's hungry for the ball. He gets on the ball quite well. So, he could have a massive impact in the game tomorrow, Sunday, let's say. So hopefully he's not in full form and we can keep him at the game and just go forward. But Bournemouth in general, I don't think they'll hurt us too much. They've got Dominic Solanke, who's the main man. They've got a couple of other players. They've got Max Aarons as well, here to sign from Norwich, a good right back. He can get down. Good right back, brilliant player, can get down the right. And they've signed Justin Kluivert as well. So Patrick Kluivert's son, he's played for Roma, Valencia previously, come through the ranks Ajax, a good player. So they have got a couple of players that could hurt us, but it all depends on our mentality. I think first and foremost, we've got to go back to what we know. We've got to go back to the thought at the back. I think fight with the back hasn't worked the last few games. We've had Chilwell out on the left wing and etc., leaving us with 2 attacking players in the team. Pochettino's got to get it right. I think we've got to go back to basics, go back with what we've seen in pre-season with the thought at the back, and let's hopefully they start picking up some form because it's going to be needed going into this difficult spot.
Yeah, I mean it's a weird one though, Kev, because obviously Bournemouth had Gary O'Neill last season. He came in when Scott Parker was injured, and Scott Parker was doing a terrible job. And obviously we saw when he went to Belgium, he didn't do a good job there either. So Gary O'Neill, in my opinion, I think he worked a miracle at Bournemouth last season. So for me, I just don't understand why they got rid of him in the first place. I know they've got this new manager, and his name's Adoni Iraola. He used to play. He used to manage Real Vallecano in Spain. I just don't understand that appointment. And I mean, just as an opposition fan, like I'm not fearful of playing against Bournemouth. I feel like people are saying they're okay, but there's nothing more to it than that. It just seems like another relegation team, in my opinion. I mean, they've still got some good names, but like if you look at it on a serious note, I mean, except for Luton and maybe Sheffield, every team has big names. Like literally every team you play for has big names. Even when Leeds got relegated last season, they had Rodrigo and before that they had Rafinha, and they had some great players. So it's not unusual to have that. I mean, I have to say I'm pretty confident, if I'm being honest with you, Kev. I know that we've had these issues with our system. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about Ben Chilwell playing as a winger, and then you're playing Colwell as a left back. I mean, how does Poch approach this? Obviously, he's had time to work with some of the players, but not the majority of the squad, because they've obviously been on international break. I mean, do we stick with what we've been doing and just try and push that through, or do we try and change it up?
Posh knows what's best. Posh is a professional. You know, we as fans, we can only make our suggestions on how things can change. But when you see, as an outsider, you see it for yourself when you've got 2 attacking players in the team and the rest of defensive players. That's why we find it hard to break down teams. You know, Nottingham Forest is very different at Stamford Bridge, you know, and they knew what they was doing. They was just going to hit on us counter attack. And that's what most teams are going to do against us, because they know we're setting up. The way we set up at the moment is set up for ball retention. So we've got the 3 in the middle with Gallagher, Enzo, and what's his name? Our new signing. Sorry, what's that?
Caicedo.
Blood keeps coming out my head. Yeah,
Kev, we've signed so many players, you can't keep track anymore, can you?
Oh, well, it's not, yeah, precisely. But yeah, Caicedo. So when we play 3 in the middle, we're setting up for ball possession to keep the ball. So teams know what we're going to do. Teams know that we're going to have the majority of possession. So they're just going to sit back, and I think Bournemouth are going to do the same thing. And it's going to try and catch us on the count. So we've got to be well prepared for everyone's game plans against us. And right now, as you speak, we've dealt with it reasonably well. But I think that as a Chelsea fan, we want to see attacking football, especially myself. We've always seen it under previous managers. Can we go and attack? Can we just play some more attacking players? Can we play players in the right position? And I think if we do that, we'll start seeing the best out of this Chelsea squad. Because it isn't a bad squad, but I just think they need some confidence, and they need to just know, just need the manager to play them in the right positions and have confidence to keep them in the team and then play them. And I think we'll do well.
It's actually interesting. So there's 2 things I want to talk about. We'll start off with one of the interesting pieces of news that came out. I don't actually know if it's true or not, but it's worth talking about. There's a lot of articles coming out saying that Conor Gallagher is valued at the club in terms of the hierarchy, but not for what he does on the pitch. They only value him for the sale price. Which is like, okay, I kind of get that, because it's pure profit. We've heard this story all the time with academy players, but for me, it's just not the right way to think about things. I mean, we understand football's a business, but whatever you do on the pitch is going to affect what happens off the pitch. So, I mean, firstly, do you think that we should look to extend Gallagher's contract, or keep Gallagher? Or is it something where we need to try and move him on? And if so, are we just playing him to raise up his price, so a team like West Ham become more convinced and then they can pay for him? Or I don't know. It's a weird one for me. What do you think about it?
Gallagher's got a brilliant attitude. He's exactly what you need as a manager in your squad. He doesn't moan. He gets on with it. He works really hard. Technically, I think he can improve. But he's still fairly young, 22, 23.
Oh,
so he's still pretty young. Personally, I'd like to see him around, keep him around. But I think there's no point giving him a contract now. Let's see how he gets on this season. Let's give him a full season, give him some minutes. Right now, as it stands, he probably hasn't done enough right now. But who's to say in the next few weeks, few months, he doesn't improve and we can start seeing a better Gallagher. But right now, I think he still needs to improve a long way to be in another shape to get this long-term deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I mean, if I was a manager, I totally get why Poch wants to play him, and presumably you would think wants to keep him. But I suppose if you have better options in the midfield, like just more quality, then you're probably going to pick that over a player like Gallagher if you can have the work rate as well. But it's tough to find players with a decent mentality these days. Which brings me to my next point, which is all about Asmir Begovic. I don't know if you've heard about what he said. He went on Alex Goldberg's podcast, The Byline, and basically just went on a big rant about Chelsea. He was like, he doesn't understand what's happened at Chelsea in the last 12 months. He doesn't think that the money that we've spent replicates where we are as a team. He actually thinks we're a mid-table team. He doesn't think we're good enough to push for Champions League spots. And I just wanted to have your thoughts on that and your reaction.
It's not just him at the moment. As me Begovic, I did see something on the socials about it, but I never really read into it because Asmir Begovic is our third choice keeper. So whatever he says is totally relevant to what I care about. But when I've seen players that actually play for us, i.e. Kepa as Arrizabalaga, I've seen John Terry coming out over the last couple of weeks saying there's more to what meets the over the Mason Mount situation. I've seen Kepa saying he doesn't want to leave Real Madrid, and basically this project at Chelsea stinks. This is why he wanted to get out. So yeah, there's quite a bit of people coming out now. There's a lot of stuff coming out that works. But I never needed these players and these people to tell me. It's there right in front of you to see. We have made a couple of shocking decisions, stacking Tico 1, signing all these youth players 2. We could go on and on and on and on and on. But all the negativity is what Chelsea's always been about. The media loves feeding off the negativity. But right now, I could say there's a lot more positives than negatives. We've signed some of the best youth players in the world, and it's going to take time. John Terry said it himself. It's going to take a long time. So I'm patient. The stick we push with all us fans, all the negativity going around the club at the moment. Yeah, that's just a handful of stuff. But what you're going to see is we've completely sold Deadwood at the team. We've brought in players that want to play for the badge. And I think, give it 2-3 years' time, we'll be challenging again. But it's going to take a long. With the players that we've got now, I don't think we'll be challenging straight away. So
I mean, it's kudos to Bowley as well. And people don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to keep bringing it up. Bowley's the one who's made this. I don't know what the word is, but the decision to change the structure of the club. I mean, everything's changed, the direction's changed, and people are going, "Oh, Chelsea don't want to win." Blah blah blah. Sometimes, in order to go 2 steps back, you have to take a few more steps forward. And I just think that out of all the clubs in the Premier League, we were the ones who needed to have that dip. Now, don't get me wrong, other teams might have a bigger dip than us, like Arsenal when they rebuilt their stadium. Who would have thought they'd be as crap as they were for such a long time? But somehow, with that process, they've managed to come back and they're actually a top team again. We can't do things the way Man City do them at the moment because we just don't have a stable structure and a stable environment. I mean, you need 10 years of that to get to where Man City are, and you're just churning out wins and trophies season after season. And even the way they're able to retain players like Kyle Walker, those little things just make such a big difference. And I just don't think we're there yet. In that sense, I don't think that players have ever really felt properly settled at Chelsea. Even if you look at some of the bigger players, you're never guaranteed a start. Whereas this season, it might be a little bit different. If you're Sterling, you're going to get a lot of game time. But those other players like Mudryk need to try and push in. So we don't have the quality that we had in terms of world class here and now. But you're right, Kev. I mean, we've got a lot more positives than negatives. I'm glad you're saying it as well, to be fair, because I actually thought...
there's just way too much negativity. I don't look into it anymore. What I see, I look what's on the pitch, and that's what I as long as Chelsea are going the right way on the pitch, whatever else is going on behind the scenes is totally irrelevant to how I feel about my club, and it'll always be that way. You know, when I first started supporting Chelsea, I seen us with with very average players. Yeah, we had like Mario Stanisic, and we used to buy some shit players, Jesper Gronkia. I could go on and on and on and on. And this is when I started supporting the team. So for us now to be in the market and be signing, okay, we're not going for world class players, but we're getting the best of the youth players about possible. It's a massive thing for us. We've seen our team be the most successful club in England over the last 20 years. So it's going to be a massive building process. We've just got to be patient with with what's going on. But what I can say is, Posh, just play the players in the right position first and foremost, and hopefully we can start seeing some better performances over the next few weeks.
I mean, yeah, we've been the most successful team over the last 20 years. It's hard to stay like that. I don't understand why people are so triggered. Like, yeah. I don't want us to lose, and I don't want us to stop winning trophies, but at some point, somebody's got to come up. I mean, at the moment, it looks like it's Arsenal who's, really trying to push for that top spot. Obviously, Man City are already up there. You don't need to really talk about them. We're just rebuilding, and I think I'm more patient than most people. I backed Potter until he got sacked, pretty much. It was after we lost to Aston Villa, I said he's got to go. I said that, and funny enough, he did go. But I think I'm gonna back Poch up to the moon and back this season because, last season with Potter, he was an unproven manager at this level. It's not the same for Pochettino, and I mean the great thing is that he's being backed, but yeah, it's all potential, isn't it? So you need time to let that come to fruition.
It's all time, Alex, and all I can say to all the fans out there now. You're getting pretty frustrated, and all the fans are getting on our backs and bantering us. We spent £1 billion and we've gone backwards. No, we haven't gone backwards, because what we've done is we're building for the future. We're setting up for the future, and it's going to take a while, but it will trust me, it will fall through. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but probably the year after, when we sign a couple more experienced players and we add to the youth that we've got. It's all going to be good. So it's just it's a waiting game, really. And, just everyone be patient and we'll be fine.
That's it, Kev. I mean, but just to round off, mate, going back to the Bournemouth game, we've touched up on a few relevant things that have happened. We still haven't had a prediction. So, Kevin, mate, are you feeling lucky, or what are we going with?
I can see it being a draw, I'd love to say a win, but it says just don't know what formation we're going to play. We don't know players. It's a bit all up in the air at the minute. Our form's not been the best going into it. I'd say a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. I mean, that's not even a bad result at Bournemouth if you consider how hard it is for us in the past to have gone there. But I feel like we can definitely get a win. I mean, I think football's a game of momentum, right? And in a lot of ways, it's about who needs it more. Like, you could be playing against the team at the bottom of the table, and they could be the team with the momentum to win that game. That could be that they're like, they need that win more than you, or they've just had that run. I think for us, we need the win more than Bournemouth. I think they're satisfied enough with the start of the season that they've had. So if they did lose, it's not a big issue. I'm going 2-0. I'm going 2-0 with a clean sheet. I think that things will come together. I don't necessarily think it'll be pretty, but it doesn't need to be. We just need to get the win, get the 3 points. Simple as that, really. But listen, guys, always a pleasure to have you listening to the Chelsea Fan TV podcast. Thanks for listening to myself. Thanks for coming on as well, Kev. And if you agree or disagree with any of the points we've made, just comment down below. Like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more daily content, if not more than that. And we'll see you guys very, very soon. Up the Chelsea.